both competitors, and there's no ill will. And once we both get punched in the face, like, we're gonna be locked in.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of, and of which...
Jake Paul looks shaken after hearing Floyd Mayweather has joined Gervonta Davis's camp. Though he keeps claiming to stay positive, his nervous energy says otherwise. With Floyd sharpening Tank's timing and precision, the danger has doubled. Fans now believe Jake finally realizes he's up against a true fighter trained by a boxing genius.
5 years of doing it, I'm healthier than ever, mentally doing amazing, so I'm just always thinking of the positive. And even in sparring, I've never been knocked down or knocked out or anything, so I've just yet to experience any.
Have you ever been knocked out?
No, never. I was meditating once. That's how my nose is crooked. People think my nose is crooked from boxing, but I was meditating once. It's the only time I've ever passed out and I got knocked out. But I was sitting on this higher chair thing, meditating, breathing in, and I think I had like low blood sugar or something, or it was early in the morning, earlier than I normally woke up, and I just fell forward straight into the concrete, and it broke my nose, and I was like knocked.
Reports confirm Mayweather is guiding Davis in camp, bringing elite strategy, discipline, and championship focus. Under Floyd's mentorship, Tank is mastering every detail for his biggest stage yet. But experts warn, the massive size difference still looms large. Davis's explosive power meets Paul's natural weight and reach advantage, raising doubts about fairness and safety. Chael Sonnen stands firmly with Davis, calling him the face of real boxing. He says Jake Paul may have attracted attention, but Tank represents authenticity. For Sonnen, this fight isn't just personal, it's boxing defending its legacy. He believes Davis must remind the world what separates real fighters from entertainers.
Match, I'm not watching. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's gonna have a hard time hitting him.
Yeah.
You know?
Big time. Gervonta's so fast and
Gervonta's
skilled.
gonna eat his
I thought
guts.
Jake was gonna fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
that was actually getting...
That is
sounded
the
more
craziest
interesting.
idea I've ever heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is, crazy.
Not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
So it's still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
So
that.
so behind the scenes, you think there are things like, hey, we
Yes.
don't punch each other in the jaw?
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch in the face, but don't go for broke. Like, don't knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. It's an exhibition.
That's
so
not
they
very
can go
interesting
away
to me.
with it. No. Until I find the rule sets, but when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
It's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150. So small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person. He's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person.
I've worked with Gervonta Anthony.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd likely has shoes on there.
Oh, dude, he's so small.
He's tiny.
Yeah.
Weight divisions exist for protection, and this fight challenges that rule. Davis faces a man naturally heavier and stronger, forcing him to rely on speed and precision over size. Analysts agree, Tank's skill gives him a shot, but Jake's mass could change everything. The physical gap raises questions about how competitive this matchup can truly be.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I have an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather.
Throughout his career, Davis has fought for legacy, not fame. That's why some fans feel confused and even disappointed by his choice to fight a YouTuber. They feared this bout gives influencer boxing too much credibility, turning a proud sport into a spectacle. Though the payday is huge, purists wish Tank would stick to championship-level opponents.
Chairman of the Georgia Athletic Commission told USA Today Sports that Paul's promotion company withdrew its request for permits and a rule waiver, citing the 65-pound weight difference between the fighters. The Rick Thompson guy straight up said they've been promoting something they should not have been. Come on, guys, like, use your brains. Y'all boxing fans, you understand this. This fight was never going to happen. This is the article from USA Today. It says the status of the proposed fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis under scrutiny because of the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. Rick Thompson is coming out and saying this stuff because he said he believes it's in the public's best interest to know that they've been promoting something they should not have been. Communications director for the Office of the Secretary of State told USA Today Sports the event will not be happening. But funny enough, tickets are still available.
Modern boxing has shifted, now it's about storylines and spectacle. Viral moments sell faster than pure skill. Analysts warn that influencer fights steal the spotlight from real champions, replacing respect with entertainment. The sport's traditional values are fading under pressure from social media-driven attention.
Tank Davis is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a Disney Channel kid, YouTube star turned boxer. Of course, he's gonna make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound-for-pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight. I know Tank Davis multiple times has said he only cares about the money and just wants to make $100 million and go retire off an island somewhere. But that's bad for the sport, especially coming from one of our sport's biggest superstars. Look at guys like Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Those guys are real fighters, okay? They challenge themselves against the best fighters in the world. And money comes their way too from it. Don't get it twisted. What's crazy is Tank would make just as much money if he fought Shakur, Devin Haney, even Teofimo Lopez. The biggest tragedy of all is the fact that Lamont Roach isn't getting his rematch. He got robbed in that fight with a knockdown. He definitely would have won the split decision, and he would have got his Buster Douglas moment, but he didn't, and now he can't even get a rematch because Tank is going to do this, and now Lamont Roach has to fight Pitbull Cruz instead. I used to be such a big Tank Davis fan, but over the last year and a half that I've had this channel, the amount of BS that I've had to report on Tank Davis just like this, completely turn me off as a fan of Tank Davis. Jake Paul can do his thing with the influencers, with the MMA fighters, but with boxers...
Even venues are divided. The first arena backed out, refusing to host what officials saw as more show than sport. Promoters scrambled to relocate, proving just how powerful hype and money have become in boxing. The business side adapts fast when attention is at stake.
You have good fights where I'm not talking about these type of fights, crossover type of fight, former Disney guy, influencer stuff, not. And Jake Paul has really promoted himself and acquitted himself to the point where he's kind of a boxer. Now, he hasn't fought the top names, I get it, blah, blah, blah. But he's doing his thing. He's training like a boxer. He's not like taking it lightly, like streaming and then working on his YouTube more than he's working on his boxing. It is what it is, right? But beyond that, let's keep it going. I told you I'm about to really get unpacked. Subscribe to the channel. The reality is, the reason why I'm saying I blame you, the fans, is because we've had some very good fights, like David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, whatever. I'm talking in the last 5-10 years, right? Very good fights, all boxing. So not talking influencer or any type of crossover fight, right? Good fights. And then you got boxing fans in a niche sport who didn't further the exposure by advertising or buying the fight, mostly buying the fight with piracy and whatnot. So now we're at a point in this society where these companies, they're like, all right, they see the piracy is a problem. Now they're looking for a sure shot, must win type of scenarios. That's why we're getting these fights that some people, purists and diehards, are calling wonky fights. You know what I mean? It is your fault because
both Davis and Paul understand the new formula: attention equals opportunity. They know headlines bring paydays. Critics question credibility, but success follows those who stay talked about. Still, analysts say Davis's impact goes beyond hype. Every opponent he faces gains exposure and respect. His legacy, unlike Paul's, is built on skill and achievement.
Jake Paul is over 50 pounds heavier than Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's nearly a foot taller than Gervonta Tank Davis. So no sanction body wants to, and no commission wants to, should I say, I keep saying sanction body, no commission wants to sanction it. They don't want to be a part of it, as I told you guys. So they announced that the fight was going to take place November 14th in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena where the Atlanta Hawks play. And the Georgia Athletic Commission, he came out and he made a serious statement. And he let the world know that they fought.
Danny Garcia admits fans love strange matchups. They create curiosity and sell tickets. But purists worry boxing is losing its identity. With spectacle fights replacing title bouts, the sport risks being seen as entertainment over competition. Davis versus Paul may sell millions, but it fuels a bigger debate: is boxing evolving or losing itself?
In the boxing world, about Gervonta Davis and Gervonta Davis, his resume, who he's going to fight, the competitors that he's going to fight, and every once in a while, something happens that proves that Gervonta Davis is the face of that. If he's not the face of boxing because people just don't want him to be that, man, he is real close to it, because other than Canelo Alvarez, and even consider Canelo Alvarez included, nobody in boxing has divisions circulating around him like Gervonta Davis does. And that was proved during this Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz announcement for their pay-per-view. Just think about this. Gervonta Davis, they always say that Gervonta Davis has a poor resume, but yet Gervonta Davis, guys that fight Gervonta Davis, lose to Gervonta Davis, or get a draw to Gervonta Davis, can fight one another and make an anticipated pay-per-view between the two of them, because that fight with Pitbull Cruz is a very, very popular fighter with Mexican fight fans. Lamont Roach got a lot of name exposure with black fight fans and Mexican fight fans and white fight fans, all with his draw that he got against Gervonta Davis. Now they believe that this is going to be able to be a profitable endeavor for a pay-per-view. Now, let me also tell you that Rolly Romero, who was somebody else that Gervonta Davis fought in the past, will be on a pay-per-view that's going to be successful, most likely, when he defends his WBC 140-pound champion.
Paul will be taking on Tank Davis in an exhibition on November 15th in Atlanta, Georgia, live on Netflix. And this is crazy for multiple reasons. One, they have a huge size difference. Tank Davis, he's a lightweight, normally fights at 135 pounds. And Jake Paul, he's a cruiserweight, usually fights at 200 pounds. So there's a good 60 to 65 pound difference here. It could also mean that Tank Davis is no longer interested in competing for titles anymore and is cashing out of boxing. You know, there's been a lot of talks that Tank is nearing retirement this year. And he was supposed to rematch Lamont Roach after their first fight went to a draw. But instead of chasing the Roach rematch, instead he takes the Jake Paul fight for money. So maybe this is Tank's last, or one of his last fights. And same for Jake Paul. He just got ranked number 14 at cruiserweight after beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So he's supposed to be fighting other ranked contenders or top guys at cruiserweight. But instead, he's taking a money fight. But I do expect these two to go after each other. Even though it is an exhibition, I don't think it'll just be some boring sparring match. I do think they'll try a decent amount. But Tank, obviously, is a lot more skilled.
That's all for today. Stay tuned, the story of Tank Davis versus Jake Paul is only just beginning.